What's going on, guys? In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to test a receiver. In this case it is a stereo integrated amplifier. This one is from JVC. The model number is AX-R97, and this stereo receiver was purchased from OfferUp with the intention to resell on eBay. I got the receiver, a CD player, all JVC, and the turntable for $90 from a gentleman on OfferUp. I'm going to show you guys what the comparables are to this model. I'll put it up somewhere on the screen, either right here or over here. But my intention was to resell. So this is one of the things that I've been doing within the past week. I've been sourcing for items through OfferUp rather than going to yard sales, estate sales, and the thrift store. Currently my local thrift store is still closed, so I'm kind of resorting to looking for deals through OfferUp and or Facebook Marketplace. And this was a pretty good deal that I was able to negotiate. Originally the owner, I believe, wanted close to $200 and something for all 3 units, and I was able to negotiate it down to 9. This specific model has stereo speakers line through pretty much line 1 or through a line 2. The newer amplified receivers have either speaker A and speaker B. It pretty much separates a group of speakers, and you could select from one or the other. This specific unit, you can only select 1 or 2. If I have them both selected, it won't play either. And I think that's something to do with the older amplifier. Right here, you have some sliders, right? But pretty much this area here controls the equalization effect or the feature within the system. These buttons allows you to select what input. This one actually has 2 tapes, tape 2 and tape 1. It has a CD button, tuner button. You can connect a tape player, CD player, a tuner, a phono, typically that's used for turntables, a VCR, and a TV. They have the inputs in the back. This has a loudness feature, so if you turn it on, it produces a louder volume for whatever audio you're producing. This knob here controls the balance to either the left, center, and right. And obviously, depending on your liking, you can control exactly where you want the volume to come from. If you want the volume to come from only from the right, you put it all the way to the right. If you want it to come only from the left, you put it all the way to the left. But if you want it anywhere in between, you just select exactly where you want it from. This stands for sound effect amplification or amplifier source. So this is controlling or allowing this feature to work. So whatever you do with the sliders here, and this is on, you'll be able to see the effect with the volume on here as well. But you could control the bass, the mid bass, the mid-range, the mid highs, and then obviously the highs on your audio output. And then this feature here is to record. So you'll be able to record whatever amplification or equalization you do with that feature, but you're gonna have to record it out to a separate device. So let me show you guys the back. Okay, so here is the back of the unit. You have all the inputs on this left hand side, to include this little area here. Now I believe this might be for the antenna. You have some AC outlets. These 2 are switched. This one has it marked as unswitched. So I believe these are the ones that we would use if we want to connect any other equipment to this. And once again, the speaker inputs are here. So like I said, you can connect a phono device, which typically would be a turntable. You connect a CD player, a tuner. Here has a tape 1, tape 2, and then a VCR. You could either record out to it, or you could connect it into play. And then the very bottom one is a TV input. And the same thing with this. We're actually now going to go ahead and turn the unit back around and start the testing. Alright guys, one of the things I did forget to mention is when you are inputting the RCA cables, the white is left and the red is right. So just think of it as R for red, make it right. And then that's it. The other one will go on the left. A lot of the units will have a mark. So the L on this side, which would be the white, and then the R is going to be on this side. The newer units will actually have these ports colored with white and red. This one is actually black, so that's why they have it marked here. So just pay attention to that. Make sure that these connections coincide with the markings on the unit. I have to double check when this was released, but pretty old vintage equipment, all taken care of. As you can see, the original box is there. We're going to make sure that all the buttons work. So I have a Sony 5-disc CD player that I'm using along for this test, and I have some original music that I'll be using here. That way I don't get flagged by YouTube. So here we have the balance. If I turn it over to the left, you'll see that only the left is playing. Back to the middle. You can hear from both sides. Hopefully it's reflecting on the video here. And then if I go to the right, then I'll put it over here to the left. And there's no sound coming from that left speaker. Actually, let's do that same thing. It's coming from this side. And see, it's to the left, but it's not coming from this side. So the balance button works. This loudness on off, currently it's off. If I put it on, you should see you can hear it when it raises the volume and it reduces it. Might be a slight notice there, but the button works. Currently we have the output coming from the CD, but let's take a look at the effect. The effect, right? If we have the equalizer on, or the sound effect amplifier button, currently all the levels are to the bottom. So if we have it on, it's going to reduce it, right? Because all the levels are down. If I turn it off, it'll just have it at regular. But if you really want to manipulate the sound to your liking, you'll use that feature. And look, if you want to raise up the bass, obviously these are not the best speakers for bass, but you can start noticing. Let me lower it because it's raising it pretty high. It'll be higher, as opposed to it being all the way down, right? And then the lighting, you can tell the lighting. So that's that. Obviously there's a record button. It lights on, but we're not going to use it because that's for recording purposes. Currently we're using the B speakers. If I turn it off, those speakers turn off. If I have another set of two, the A's would turn on. Now I switched it to the TV, and that works. Okay, so now I put it on tape. You can hear the output. This is an original beat I did back in an MPC turntable, or I mean not a turntable, but a drum machine. And here it is on the VCR. The phono is a little bit different though. That's typically used for turntables, and I don't have a turntable really to use at the moment. Even this model, I'm not going to touch it because it's pretty much in its original packaging, and I don't want to take it apart and assemble it. But the phono plays louder, and I believe that has something to do with how the settings are set for phono, so it can produce a better sound for turntables. Tapes. Currently, I'm actually on speaker 2. Other speakers are set like A and B, but this one's 1 and 2. So let me switch it over to 1, but let me set it up in the back. They're set up at the bottom, and that's the speaker 2s. So if I had another 2 speakers, I could set them up right here and just switch on and off from 1 or 2. Alright guys, so I set it now to the top row, which is speakers 1. Now, see, we went from speaker 2 to speaker 1. So obviously these Sony small theater or home theater speakers are not the best for this type of audio, but you can see that the levels do work as well. And that pretty much concludes the testing of this JVC AX-R97 stereo integrated amplifier.